All right. The Italian Stallion lies here in the top left side of the map. It's Reynor representing Kaisi Gaming up against Onside Gaming Solar. In the bottom right, it's the winners match. Who will make it out in first place of this group? Solar is a very clever player, very calculated. Reynor, on the other hand, flows. Maybe not like water, maybe more like Baneling acid into all of the weak spots of his opponent, and he melts them down very quickly. Reynor, much like Dark, is very much a pain to play in this matchup. I've seen Cyril's face on camera when he plays Reynor in those big grand finals and semi-finals and things, and I'll tell you what, he looks stressed, and I think there's a good reason why. It's because Reynor's hard to read. He'll do a lot of fakes. We've seen him many times fake out with a bunch of roaches, make it look like he's going for a big roach baneling attack, and he just holds the drone key down behind it. We see that his opponents like cancel a spire and quickly build spine crawlers. You know, a lot of times he baits his opponent and tricks them. Solar is a pretty defensive player in the early game, but very willing to play like a carapace upgrade into roaches or something. And in general on this map, I think Muta attacks us. I mean, Muta builds are just splendid. It's so hard to kill the opponent on this map. So I feel like, why not just go for Mutas if you can? Obviously, it's hard to defend your third base, but definitely hard to punish as well. And committing to a big old roach baneling attack, usually the counter to that is a little bit less reliable than it can be on the other maps. Now, Solar prioritizing 3 workers on gas, only 15 on minerals, whereas Reynor prioritizing minerals. So he's going to be ever so slightly behind in his gas, and I mean ever so slightly. But he's just, you know, already showing an inkling of the fact that Reynor definitely wants to just take a quick third. Neither player is really set up to rush into Ling speed, do a baneling rush or anything like that. We are now going to see the 2 queens queuing up for both sides. Solar does start his Overlord about 10 seconds later. And he does see the expansion on the other side of the map. He says, okay, everything looks normal. Reynor comes in, sees the hatchery timing, says, yep, everything looks normal. Both players are going to station their Overlords outside their opponent's base so they can see any Zerglings coming out. And we'll see if either player does anything cheeky. Solar is way... Oh my... Reynor is going to go 2-base Muta. He's skipping Ling speed. He's going to wall off with an Evo and a Roach Warren and play 2-base Muta, calling it now. He could do a Ling Flood behind this, but this is... Oh my... Whoa! 240? Okay, I didn't think that quick. I mean, it could be a Nidus if he drops a Roach Warren in a second gas right now. I mean, he needs a second gas pretty much immediately for either of those builds. But, all right, coming on forward. He starts an Evo chamber. So Solar's like, hey, you're playing 2-base? What the hell, man? He's got Ling speed, pulling 2 workers off gas, 3rd hatchery on the way. Oh, I like this call. I love this call. Overlord sacrifice, something players never think to do in ZvZ. But he gets in, sees the lair, and he gets out. He doesn't even lose the Overlord. Oh, Solar, you genius. He knows that's a very quick lair. Now, he doesn't know that it was already started for about 30 seconds when he spotted it, but he still knows that's a very quick lair. Definitely something for him to be concerned about. Now, there's only 2 gases. 3rd gas goes down. Is it really Mutas? I have no idea. It doesn't... Oh, okay, it is. Yep. 3 minute 35 Spire goes down. Wow, Reynor. It's a dirty play. Now, if Solar recognizes that and he makes that read, he wants to drone super hard here. Because there's actually nothing aggressive Reynor can do to him. There's no Ling speed. There's no Roach speed. He's getting the +1 just so if Zerglings or Overlord Scout, it looks like he's upgrading things and playing a normal game. But essentially, Reynor's just going straight to the Mutalisk stage. Now, if you can get a handful of Lings to deny Reynor's 3rd base, but otherwise just drone up and build extra queens, you can get ahead of Solar. Use this 3rd base income advantage, defend with queens and spores, and then just work your way towards a 4th base and play from there. Now, a problem is always that the 4th base is really far away on this map. Can be a little hard to defend against the Mutaling Bane player, and actually, it's not going to be Mutaling Bane. He's actually committing to the roaches. These aren't fake upgrades. He's building roaches as well. So Reynor is building roaches and Mutas. Now, he could do a clever thing if this Spire gets spotted, not build any Mutas and just go all in with roaches, but I don't think he has enough roach. But I think with this build, you can't really do that. He has to go Mutas, but it'll just be a handful of Mutas for map control. See if the Changeling sees it. Oh, he doesn't spot it. Oh, Solar unable to get the confirmation yet. Okay, he'll see it in a moment. Queens will at least damage him a lot. And there we go. Let's go to Solar's camera, guys. So we're on Solar's camera. He confirms the Spire. And he's like, okay, this Muta's on the way. I need to build spores. He doesn't want to rush the spores, so he starts queens first. He's trying to hide his overlords. Notice he's just trying to run all of his overlords home so he doesn't just give them away. His roaches started to move forwards, but now seeing that, he's like, oh god, I need spores right now. Puts a creep tumor to connect his bases. Still no creep at the front, but I think he realizes this is such a quick Muta tech that he's not going to have to be dealing with a lot. It's more just that the Mutas can circle around and focus drones and overlords. That's going to be the real impact. He's going straight infestation pit as Solar. You can see him darting around and really calmly just building up his drone count, making sure he continues the worker lead. But Reynor's already got the third up, and he's got a second Evo, so he's preparing for a 2-1 roach speed timing. He wants Carapace, which will take less time than this upgrade to start up, and he's going to hit with probably just a max of roaches, +2 attack, +1 armor, and the Muta's going to try and be annoying in the meantime and force a lot of units that won't be useful against that. Like, Infestors won't be great versus that, Spore Crawlers, Queens. Solar does not have a worker advantage anymore, so that's been taken away from him. Supplies very even between the two. Muta's still looking for any exposed drones. Not able to get anything there. Good pull by Solar. Remember, Solar did win the coin toss, so we are on the US West server. Muta's still looking for stuff, but not able to find anything. Overseer does come in. It's very important that Solar figure out if this is Roaches or Ling Bane Muta follow-up. He's like, is this mass Mutas coming in or no? I think seeing so few Mutas, he can assume. I really do think he can assume. The Mutas change targets there. Oh, a bit of indecision. And the Changeling sees a mass of Roaches. Lurker and Hive on the way. Solar needs to hold the Roach key down to make sure he doesn't die. He's already down 10 army supply. As long as he keeps making Roaches while teching to Lurkers, he is way ahead on the tech. Reynor could take him out with this, but it definitely doesn't feel like there's any tangible advantage. The tech is way ahead for Solar. Once he gets Lurkers, that's going to be an epic lead for him, but he doesn't have a fourth started. Reynor does have the fourth, and he can use Ravagers to take out small and medium numbers of Lurkers. I'd also like to see him break the rocks, just so we can get an easier rally through the middle. Doesn't really want to show his hand just yet. Fourth base is going to get secured down to the bottom left side. Solar's done a good job of handling. Oh, Reynor pulls back the Muta, and so he wasn't able to focus the drone down in time. Really good play by Solar. He's morphing his first Lurkers. They're going to be done in about 10-12 seconds. Roach Ravager does not have any Overseers with it. He's got one. Okay, he's morphed one on the right side. He's splitting some Roaches off for a run by. Maybe a little bit late, though. He's going to go and try and cancel the fourth while posturing on the north. Lurkers are finished. Solar getting past the scariest part of this game. Splitting his Lurkers up right now. Trying to make sure they're not too clumped up. But Roaches running in the left side. That's a dead hatchery. Beautiful pickoff. Nice cancel at the last second. Insta rebuild for Solar. Bile's trying to come down, but Reynor's not finding his way, and he's got Tunneling Claws and Burrow on the way. He's maxed out, and he's not actually ahead in workers, even though he's a bit ahead in income because he's got the extra base up. Breaking these rocks down, but Solar's already got a Lurker there. He's got to move one or two of these Lurkers down as well. Solar a little too slow to reposition. Solar? Whoa. I mean, at the same time, Reynor doesn't want to get surrounded here. Solar's very slow to pull his whole army, though. The only Lurker in the fight goes down. 4 Lurkers are up to the right. Not in the battle right now. Oh, Reynor picking Solar apart right now. Oh, my lord. Solar just a bit too slow to respond there. The Lurkers try to reposition. Reynor just shuffles his army to the left side and says, I'll fight away from them. That one Lurker, though, making its presence known. Really good dodge on the Burrow as well. The Overseer does come in. Finally, Reynor takes that one out. The Lurker's trying to shuffle over. Solar, just those Lurkers, such an important part of his defense, not able to be in the fight, and Reynor so good at picking these fights, finding a way to engage where the opponent's army isn't. Even Bile's down yet another Lurker on the way out, and behind this, 30 more Roaches are on the map. There's still 5 Mutas here as well with an Overseer. They're going to try and pick off these Lurkers. There's no Queens nearby. There's only 1 Queen on the map, so the Lurkers, easy pickings for the Mutas. That opens up the opportunity for Reynor to just keep on going. And if he gets rid of this fourth one more time, then he's going to just take Solar out of the game. Hydra's trying to defend the Mutas, but they've already taken out one of the Lurkers. A second one falls, and a third. And now it's just Roach versus Roach. And Todd, somewhere out there, raging at an undead player. On the internet calls Luca D Supply. Reynor gets the victory. Solar has to tap out. And a very nice build to start off that series. Well, he's switched on God mode, you know, he's moving back and forwards. We could see, of course, in his camera feed that he was getting a bit excited. And after a game 1 macro win with a cheeky build, he says, time for a 12 pool. Reynor, the master of variety in StarCraft, in the top right of Inside Out. Solar, the bottom left side. We'll see if he can handle the aggression. I think this is a pretty solid way to open a series. For those who don't know, Solar has been dubbed the unluckiest StarCraft player alive. Has taken some really bad losses. Giant nuke hits by Maru right when he was about to win. Giant nuke hit by Beyond just when Solar was about to win. His wall off, literally getting walled in by parting walking up, building a pylon here, and it completely walling him in his base because one of the GSL maps wasn't properly vetted for abusable cannon spots, and he literally tried to pull drones and they couldn't get past a single pylon. They couldn't leave the base. Eliminated from GSL from that, tilted off the face of the earth. Despite that, he fights strong. He is the diplomat of the Korean StarCraft scene. I believe he was studying to be a diplomat before becoming a pro gamer. He speaks perfect English, and he is a player who is perennially one of the long-term top Zerg players, and also a build sniper and innovator. Reynor is just going to go for the expand, so it's just a pressure opening here. Let's see how well Solar micros versus this. This is Central US, so Reynor perhaps picking the strategy since this is the one map where he gets the ping advantage and he says, have fun microing your drones versus me on Central, buddy. Now the goal for Solar should be to pull his drones and fight and pull back and fight and pull back. And all he wants to do is stop the hatchery from dying and buy time for his Zerglings to pop, and that'll join in. Notice his Overlord's queued up to spot if the hatchery is there, and the moment he sees that, Solar's going to know there's no gas behind this, it's not all in, and as a result, he needs to try and keep this hatchery up. All right, 8 Zerglings already starting up. You can see the drones there. Like I said, they're going to try and fight, run away. Fight, run away. And I like the way he hides in the pocket there. Ooh, okay, cute micro. See what he does, but oh, he does start to take a lot of damage. Uh-oh, and too many of the drones fell out of the pocket there. No units have actually gone down just yet. 2 lings pop out. The drones trying to buy time. Good pullback on those lings on the right side. Oh, he's got to be careful, though, that he's still outnumbered on the ling count. The queens aren't here just yet. Oh, good drone drill, though. Very good drone drilling to keep most of the workers alive. 2 drones end up falling, but he kills every one of Reynor's lings. 17 drones are out. He's got 2 queens up. I think that was a pretty darn good hold. I think that was a fantastic hold. He's definitely ahead. He's got 100 gas. He could start ling speed whenever he chooses to. No urgency, of course, though, because he knows that Reynor is so far behind on that. He does have 9 Zerglings, so you could argue it's a few too many. The Queen's looking for an Overlord snipe, but Reynor very quick to respond. Builds a few of his own Zerglings, which is important. Otherwise, 9 Zerglings could surround and kill 2 Queens. But you can see with the Zerglings coming out as well, no, not going to be able to do that. Reynor does not have gas. He is up 3 workers, and he has a 3rd Queen. But he does not have any gas. Meanwhile, Solar, he could take a 3rd base here. That would be the best way to take advantage in this situation. First gas is going down at 3 minutes 30. Evo chamber at the front as well. That's a very quick Evo chamber for Reynor. That I'm a bit surprised by. It's interesting. Is he going to go... Okay, no, he just wants the wall off for safety. Scouts with the Zergling, sees that 3rd hatchery. The other Zergling is like, get back here, trying to bite his butt. Queen will take that out. No more scouting allowed. Link speed's on the way. Did we just see a Roach Warren get cancelled by Solar? I don't think so. No. Nice. Ooh, okay. Zergling's pulling on back. The Roach Warren's almost done. Now, Roach Warren, but no Ling speed. So it definitely feels like Reynor probably has to go for a lair. Wait. Is he going to play double upgraded Zergling? Yeah, he is. He's going to go Carapace as well, I think. Either Carapace or lair into Mutas. No, yeah, he's just gonna go. He's gonna go melee, Ling speed. He's gonna go for Ling flood. Oh no! His queens move out of the wall. Reynor gets his queen surrounded. Oh, Solar pounces, and he says, "Yeah, it's a little bit silly. You don't want to play silly business with me, mate." Oh, Reynor moving out of the wall, getting too greedy, looking for a Ling pick off there, and it's gonna cost him. And look, now he sees the Ling speed. Solar knows exactly what he's up against. He's gonna make a Carapace. Equal workers on both sides. If there's anyone who could get out of this and still turn this into a win, it's probably Reynor, but it's not going to be easy. Looks like the Lings do pull back. Roaches are building for Solar, but he's got the 3rd hatchery up. He's up a handful of workers. He's not sure when Ling speed's going to finish. Reynor's going Baneling Nest. Is he doing a Ling Bane all in? Is that what this is? That is bizarre. To go Banelings this late in the game. Wow. Third hatchery is going to be going in there. He might need to take a... Man, he's missed a lot of injects, but he will inject there as well. And he's just banking Lings. He's just going for a Ling Bane all in. He's like, yep, I have Lings sitting outside my base, but it's just these guys. And it's just Roachling for Solar. Solar is massively ahead on paper, but this would be such a dumb move to die to. Solar sees it leaving, and he's only up 4 workers. He's making tons of Roachling himself. Problem is, if he's too heavy on Lings, the Banelings are going to murder. He doesn't know about the Banelings. I mean, who the hell goes Banelings here? Solar's getting a pretty decent fight at the turn of that. The Ling's got kind of okay surface area. You got to be real careful. There's no Banelings at home. He needs to put his queen back in his wall, I think, does Reynor. He's morphing at so many Banelings. So many Banelings are morphing. He is going up to 16 Banelings. Yeah, 3 Banelings. He's going to steal off the control group, leaving his natural wall. That's the way to do it. The Lings are going to go for a big surround. The Banelings! Bailing on Roach! Crime there! Oh! Reynor getting the big debt in the center. But there's more Roaches trickling out, and he's got a big Ling backstab to deal with. A big Ling backstab! Solar's watching! Solar too fast to give that one away for free. There's only 1 Baneling left here. It gets sniped down, which means these Lings can come back and deal with this. Solar has held on against Reynor's ridiculous all-in attack. It was a desperate move. And if Reynor hit it for longer and Solar came to attack him, it might have worked if he revealed it at the last second. But Solar had great Overlord vision, good scouting all over the map in general. And even though there was a pretty good detonation on the Roaches, you might not think of Banelings as good versus Roaches, but when the Roaches are that clumped up, they work out pretty well versus just about any unit. Lair, a Spine Crawler, 2 Queens, and +1 range on the way. I love that Reynor's trying to turn this into a macro game. He is at half the army supply, and these Lings right now are like, distraction! Look at us, don't attack me, please! There's 3 Roaches and 2 Banelings trying to defend against like 60 Zerglings right now. Gets a good Baneling, and the other Baneling gets a decent hit, but there's Lings in on top of the Roach rally. The Spine Crawler will finish up eventually, but he's into the main base as well, and there's so many Roaches behind that. If Reynor can defend this, he is a wizard. Right now, he needs to defend with a far inferior force. 5 drones going down on the 3rd. The Queen falls as well. Roaches are on top of that 3rd base. Remember, there's a carapace upgrade for the Roaches. No upgrades for the Roaches of Reynor. Solar's also got that lair coming in behind this. The Roaches doing pretty well. Reynor knows he needs to defend this 3rd. His spine just cannot get forwards to root itself. And there is nothing sadder than a long old giraffe spine that is like unable to get that. The Ling Roach will get a nice surround. Tail end of this fight goes very well for Reynor. That does. There is a small problem for him, and you can see it in the units count, though. Even though he cleans up those Roaches nicely, he's on 38 workers versus 57. He builds 10 more drones on Aspire. He's going to try and bounce back. You can see he's slippery. When Reynor's behind, he does lots of wild, unpredictable, gambly things where he's like just trying to run around, buy time with backstabs, goes for surprising tech like Banelings there. He's got Aspire now on the way. He's going to swap into Mutas. Nothing that Solar has shoots up. These are all great ideas, but they are executed from a far inferior position. And so much like an expert in martial arts who weighs about 45 kilos or 100 pounds trying to fight a 6'8" pure muscle steroid monster, it doesn't matter unless you can do one of those Kill Bill 1-finger death punches. It's not going to work. It doesn't matter how skilled you are. The other dude can just sit on you, and that's kind of what Solar can do right now. We're just waiting to see if he can basically pick up his club and knock Reynor over the head with it, or like I said, just sit on him. I mean, this is one of those games Reynor could do an awesome move, like hit him with Mutas, and that might just prompt Solar to fall across the map with Roaches and overwhelm him, because the Mutas won't even be able to stop this gigantic army. Roach speed's on the way. It's a gigantic 1-1 Roach speed army. Reynor sees 50 Roaches coming in. His Mutas were only just about to start, and he knows he's done. We're going to game 3. All right, we're meeting some stiff resistance in that last game. Out microed by Mr. Solar. This is Reynor in the bottom left side. Opponent in the top right, Solar representing Onside. Onside versus Kaisi Gaming clash on Tropical Sacrifice, and it's US West server, which means slight advantage for Solar in the ping. I don't think those ping advantages matter that much. Solar showed us in that last game on Central US that he can out-micro the Zerglings with drones, which was awesome. Got the drone coming on down here for the hatch first. Both sides just playing very standard to start off. Reynor's done with his tricky openings for now. He says, okay, time to play standard now. I used up my weird opening. Just going to keep an eye on either player taking the gas a bit earlier than normal. Solar's is a normal gas timing. Reynor's is late. It's interesting. So Reynor prioritized his spawning pool. This could just be to be a bit safer versus 12 pool or anything like that. He might just prefer to have his pool faster and making sure he can start his queens like as quickly as possible. It'll delay his link speed just slightly. You can see he's kind of long distance mining minerals just a little bit. But this also makes sense, especially if you're going to do a wall-off build, like in Game 1. It does pull off minerals onto that gas to saturate that. He accidentally doesn't saturate his workers quite correctly, though. You can see they're bouncing around here. Reynor's trying to fix it, but there we go. Looks like the workers did fix themselves. On the other hand, you can see Solar here with perfect pairing up of these workers on all 8 of these mineral patches. So he's just got a really pristine opening. Both players going double queen. Reynor's are slightly earlier because of that just fraction of a second earlier pull. He's also already pulling off gas. One worker off gas onto the minerals. Such a mineral-focused build for Reynor really makes me question what his goals are. And I'm not even sure if Link Speed will start up. But there we go. It does start up. About 10 or 12 seconds behind Solar. Solar's going to expand in a straight line. He likes to do that. What about Reynor? Does he expand? I mean, he's got link speed on the way, so usually that is what you do. But no, he's going immediately for a third queen. He's going to pull 2 queens to the front, and he's going to go for an Evo chamber. So I feel like Reynor might just do some Roachling aggression. So he's going to pretend he's playing a non-link speed style. He might even just do like a 2-base link flood into a delayed third. Yeah, okay. Wow. So he wants Solar. I mean, Solar's like, hey, okay, you're playing 2-base. You're not going to expect just a link flood. Solar unlikely to build a Baneling nest in this scenario. 8 lings are already building. And it's 28 drones. So Reynor's obviously already built a very good economy for himself. The Overlord poked into his main, but this time Reynor, learning his lesson from Game 1, pushes that Overlord back. The Lings trying to force their way through. Solar, oh, unable to get in, and he does see +1 range start. Reynor getting those upgrades probably for the follow-up, which will actually be a legitimate Roach follow-up. But right now, more Lings coming across. Hungry for information is Solar. And his third base, is that the goal, or does Reynor go for broke? Does he go for the natural? Oh, he's got to run forward. He's got to ignore these Lings. He has to go across the map to do more damage. Third hatchery will go down. Reynor does need to split maybe 1 or 2 Lings to deal with that. The other Lings need to get in here and do damage right now. He goes to the wrong location. Solar, a big fan of the straight line third, not the triangle. Reynor wastes valuable seconds there. That could cost him a snipe on this third. The third's already finished, which means it has the armor up. Yep, I think Solar defends this third base. Reynor has to be careful not to overcommit to this. There's no way he gets the kill. And fighting into the queens won't work either. He's just going to have to give it up. He's got to stay flexible. He can't overcommit to this. He does back off. Perfect defense by Solar, who's going carapace. He's only on single gas right now. Wouldn't be surprised, though, to see him drop 2 more gases, big round of drones, and go into heavy Roach production. 7 Roaches with +1 are on the way. There's a second gas coming up as well. Reynor looks like he wants to play +1 Mass Ravager Ling attack, maybe, but maybe he's just wary of Solar counterattacking. Both sides right now are really like, what are you up to, dude? Are you going to attack me? Are you going to drone? What's going on? Solar, 34 drones. Reynor, 39. Reynor's adding more workers. Solar, on the other hand, appears to be much more all-in focused, like just Roaches and Lings and Carapace. +1 range, not as effective as Carapace, for those who don't know. The Carapace means the Zerglings are not going to get 2-shot by the enemy Roaches. Now, it's not like Reynor's... it's not like Solar's Roaches will be 2-shotting either, because they don't have the +1 range. But basically, the Carapace is benefiting all the units, so that's huge. Here we go. Big attack about to come in. He sees no workers. Reynor's up 7 workers right now. It's a big lead, but he realizes what's happening. It's a huge attack coming across the map. Reynor's got a lot more Roaches, but way less Zerglings. 70 Lings on the map. 18 more building. It is a 100 Zergling all-in. He's making more Ravages as Solar, but he has a 100 Zergling all-in attack. And dude, Reynor needs to stay balled up. If he spreads out to dodge the biles, the Lings will massacre him, I think. I think he's actually got to stay clumped up. I think he's a bit too spread. Oh no, I think he should pull drones here as well. This is a huge success. The bile hits 3 roaches. But the roaches on the left side are doing pretty well. That bile does hit a roach and a queen. Oh my god, so many Lings coming on in. Dude, I think Sola's got it. The power of the mass Zergling. Reynor underestimates it. He needed to pull back there and wait for more units and or add a baneling nest. Without a baneling nest, Massling reigns supreme. Sola gets first place in the group.